Hello, this is Real World Audio, and today we are traveling back to the time of Albert Einstein again. And the purpose of our time travel trip today is to compare analog and digital media. So, analog recording was born at the time of Dr. Einstein, and recordings from that era persist today. And of course, since then, the analog recording process has been perfected to quite a bit of degree, and we have media that stores more and more information. And then quite recently, just a couple of decades ago, there was the invention of digital media. And digital media also has been developed to quite a significant degree. Yet, let us compare the two. What is the potential difference between the two media? There and Before we look at that, you can be rest assured that development will continue in the future. So we will be able to decode more of both formats than what we are capable today with improved technologies. And this is true not just for digital, because that's in the foreground, that's what people see the most, but it's also true for analog media, for example, vinyl. I don't know how many of you know this, that during the past 5-6 decades, the cartridges that read the information from the LPs, they have gone through a gigantic transformation, a phenomenal improvement. So turntable technology has undergone a radical transformation. And that media, even the one that was recorded in Einstein's time, today can be reproduced at a much higher level than what it was reproduced at his time. So that is something very critical for vinyl and analog, is that as time progresses, we can retrieve more and more of that information that is stored on the records, that is stored on the tapes. And of course, this is true of digital as well. There are better and better digital playback mechanisms which can read the digital media at a more natural, more accurate, more lifelike way. However, there is a drastic difference between these two media, these two formats, and the difference is the information amount that is being contained. For digital, the information was constrained at the inception, at the creation of that recording. So basically, it was digitized by the technology of the era where it was recorded, and it was recorded as a fixed number of bits, that is a fixed number of information depth. So even though we can increase or improve the playback mechanisms, make the readout more and more perfect, but we have a limited number of bits and we cannot improve on that. And people think that maybe by upsampling or using smart digital computation mechanisms we can outsmart it. But the sad reality is that if you are lacking information, you cannot put it back. What was taken out, it is gone. If you try to reproduce it by calculations, it will not be the original music. It will be a predictive algorithm but you are not getting closer to what the actual performance was. You can get a smoother reproduction, less jitter, less artifacts in the sound, but you are not getting a single piece information more. With analog technology, the situation is reversed. There, by improving the technology, we can vastly increase the amount of information we can read out and decrease the amount of noise that is associated with the readout process. And if you have experienced going from a cheap turntable, which would represent an average or maybe the very best turntable in the 50s, today that is really just the bottom of the line regarding how much information you can read out. And going for a refined and evolved readout system, there is just a tremendous amount of information that is read out, and the noise floor just drops to nothing really. So for example, for my turntable system, for those recordings that I have both on CD or vinyl, people usually vote that the vinyl is the CD because it is quieter than the digital media, it has greater dynamic information, and has better bass. So those are the mantras that we learned for digital. Oh, digital is superior because it has lower noise floor, better frequency extension, and better dynamic range, right? But in reality, you can make analog work to a degree that can surpass digital. But also, you can put in a lot of effort into digital to make it better, but you cannot take out more from that digital media that has been recorded. And for analog media, even today, we are not reading out 100% of what's in the recording. We are just reading out a fraction of information. So if you have records, if you have cassette tapes, do not, or reel-to-reel tapes, do not throw them away, because especially for turntables, for vinyl, the technology is going to continue to increase in the readout capacity. For cassette tapes, I don't know, because that technology is almost abandoned, so there probably you do not have that big returns to look for unless you go towards the route of modifying your cassette tape deck or modifying your reel-to-reel, which is extremely rewarding. So thank you for tuning in. Share your thoughts. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends. Bye bye.